Hi. About speaker positioning. My recent stream on speakers caused quite a havoc or controversy among purists and audiophiles and experts, due to the fact that those were placed quite close to the wall, 20 centimeters from the back wall only. I argued there that 20 centimeters is okay because the speakers tremble, the speaker's housing picks up the vibration and responds to them and trembles, and trembling of the housing is indication as to the speaker's activity and shaping the correct imagery, because the housing is meant to provide an imagery, to contribute the imagery. So is my belief. The housing is not neutral at all, though some manufacturers claim it to be neutral. The housing is part of the construction, or otherwise they wouldn't have so different shapes of the housing, like Bowers and Wilkins favors oblong shapes, and for example these German speakers have a labyrinth shape here of the housing, and it's called omnidirectional, though only one tweeter faces sideways, other two drivers face upwards. So anyway, it is omnidirectional by judgment, and it is placed, as you can see, in the corner, and the right one is also in the corner. So it's not correct going by the rules, because actually, theoretically, hypothetically speaking, the walls should mar the direct radiation, direct sound from the speakers, and should interfere into imagery. However, my judgment is on the opposite, that actually all the waves radiating and direct here make up the imagery and contribute to flat imagery and quite a lot of transparency. So this is my argument, and it is based on the experience, because whenever I heard a speaker positioned quite in the middle of the empty hall, it sounded drastic. It was quite a torture when we auditioned Epos 12 from Mordaunt Short, a defunct British company right now, in 90s, in the empty hall, like was the way to demonstrate, and is always now the way at the various exhibitions, high-end shows, and so on. So we were locked in the room for the time of the auditioning and couldn't get out, and it was a torture to the ears, because the sound was very harsh and unpleasant, and actually it needed a lot of bass and mid-range to balance it. It was not the case because, as I said, it was positioned too far from the walls and couldn't pick up and be honored by any reflecting wave, which would somehow enrich the sound, I would say. I cannot demonstrate this performance now of the speakers, but I can demonstrate the other system, which is also positioned quite near the wall, which is also should be contradictory and should be condemned by purists. So this is my amplifier, which to that system, which is right now on service. So this is the system which I can demonstrate it. The trademark here, the number one performer here is Sansui large bookshelf, which actually, of course, is meant to be siding the wall, like it is now, the back wall, because it's a large bookshelf, and so the narrow shape of the narrow depth of the casing suggests that some reflections from the back wall, radiation from the back wall is favorable, should be favorable. So this is the right front of the stereo to the multi-channel audio, which is which makes up my home theater or multi-channel audio. This is the center made up by two Philips three-way speakers, which I prefer to the sound bar or regular center speaker, because I am pursuing the analog response of digital theater, not a digital response. And talking about closeness to the wall, this is the subwoofer to the system, which passive radiator faces the back wall immediately, and this is a crime according to the rules, and should not be so. But you can judge the sound by yourself, because this I can demonstrate now. Sorry, what is aha? Although it is picky a little bit, it is due to the construction and identity of Sansui speakers, because, as I said, it has a narrow shape, and so the sound goes sideways. It propels sideways, and the imagery tends to be rather flat, like this, in the middle of the room, and quite transparent also, though it's picky, and this I don't like. But suppose those speakers would be moved away from the wall and placed in the center of the room, I assure you this would be much worse, because we had such experience in Markdown Short, and I had it on the numerous high-end shows, which also pursues the correct up center position in the hall, and this is not favorable at all to the sound, because bass is poor, and peaks are even more. I mean, high frequency peaks are more. So this is my argument, and I am sorry for my English, which had its pause for 25 years. I didn't speak, but I am quite a lot present on the written English charts and forums on high end, so there I am much better, but I hope to pick up my English, to brush up it right now due to your response. I call on you to respond a lot to my English posts, which actually enrich my Russian streams. Thanks.